Hi there and welcome to Juicy Celeb. Recent revelations have painted a much darker picture of Diddy's life than we initially suspected. Federal authorities have now uncovered evidence that places his mother at the very center of his controversial activities. It seems as though Diddy's mother might have played a much bigger role in his bizarre and questionable behavior than anyone realized. There have always been whispers in the streets about Diddy's peculiar and unsettling relationship with his mother, but now it appears there was far more to those rumors than met the eye. Authorities have been sifting through every piece of information going back years, and what they've uncovered paints a disturbing picture of the influence Diddy's mother had on his life. According to the findings, the unusual behavior goes back many years, all the way to when Diddy was still very young. What's even more shocking is the idea that his mother might have been the mastermind behind these questionable activities. The details that authorities have uncovered about her past are full of shady dealings and questionable actions, leaving little doubt about her involvement in Diddy's controversial lifestyle. From the beginning, many assumed that Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, was simply one of many victims of Diddy's unhealthy behavior toward women. His disdain for women is well known, and it wouldn't have been surprising if that hatred extended to his own mother. Raised solely by his mother after his father's tragic death when Diddy was just 3 years old, it would seem natural for Diddy to have respect for the woman who sacrificed so much to raise him. However, reports now indicate that this was far from the case. While Janice did her best to raise Diddy, there have always been rumors suggesting that her life was not as straightforward as she claimed. She often referred to herself as a former teacher's assistant and model, but there's no concrete evidence to support her claims. People have tried to verify these stories by looking for modeling campaigns or runway appearances, but there's nothing to be found. This lack of evidence has raised suspicions about what her real occupation was during those years. The streets have long been buzzing with rumors that Janice wasn't just an innocent teacher's assistant. Some have alleged that she was actually a madam organizing fashion shows with models that were allegedly fronts for other, more illicit activities. But how did Janice get involved with the cartel world in the first place? It seems that Diddy's father, Melvin Combs, had a significant role in leading both Diddy and his mother into this dark underworld. Melvin Combs wasn't just an ordinary man. He was deeply involved in some very shady business, and Diddy's exposure to this world as a child had a lasting impact on him. The extent of this exposure was far more significant than we ever knew, with some reports suggesting that Diddy was knee-deep in this lifestyle from a very young age. It's even been suggested that his father's connections to the infamous drug kingpin, Frank Lucas, played a major role in shaping Diddy's early life. For those unfamiliar, Frank Lucas was a legendary figure in the world of drug cartels, known for smuggling drugs into the U.S. using the coffins of deceased soldiers. His story was even the basis for the hit film American Gangster. Melvin Combs and Lucas weren't just casual acquaintances, they were close friends and business partners. Lucas himself has openly talked about their relationship, even saying that Melvin would bring young Diddy to his house several times a week, further exposing him to the criminal underworld. As for Melvin Combs, he was far from an innocent man. Despite serving in the Air Force, he had strong ties to the criminal world and was allegedly involved in drug dealing himself. In fact, his life of crime ultimately led to his tragic death when Diddy was just 3 years old. According to street rumors, Melvin was killed because of a botched drug deal. Diddy has often spoken about the impact his father's death had on him, describing it as a major influence on his life. In interviews, Diddy has talked about the pain of losing his father at such a young age, expressing regret over not having more memories of him. He has also boasted about his father's hustler lifestyle, once saying, "My father was a hustler, and I learned from an early age that there are only two ways out of that life: prison or death." However, this narrative has always been somewhat misleading, as Diddy himself didn't exactly steer clear of the streets. Despite claiming that he focused on his studies and stayed away from the streets, the truth is quite the opposite. Diddy did attend Howard University, but he eventually dropped out to pursue his own ventures, many of which were not as innocent as he would later portray. His claims of being a studious young man seem laughable in light of the facts. Additionally, his constant praise for his father, despite knowing the full extent of his criminal activities, should have raised more red flags about Diddy's own hidden lifestyle. Even though some people have tried to downplay Melvin's involvement in criminal activities, suggesting he was merely a driver for Frank Lucas, Lucas himself has dismissed these claims. In a past interview, Lucas described Melvin as a key player in his organization, far more than just a driver. He recalled how Melvin would regularly bring Diddy to his home and even described their close relationship, both as friends and business partners. Tragically, Melvin Combs' life was cut short when he was killed in what many believe was an execution-style hit. He was found in Central Park West with multiple gunshot wounds to the head. Witnesses described the scene as a classic mob-style execution, though authorities reported it as just another drug deal gone wrong. Despite the violent circumstances surrounding his death, no one was ever held accountable for the crime. After Melvin's death, suspicions naturally fell on Frank Lucas, with rumors swirling that he might have ordered the hit because he believed Melvin was working with the authorities. Lucas has always denied any involvement, maintaining that Melvin was a dear friend whom he deeply cared for. Nevertheless, the truth behind Melvin's death remains a mystery, leaving many unanswered questions about the events leading up to his murder. It's no surprise that people are speculating even more now, especially given how much has been revealed about Diddy's mother. From her shady connections to the underworld to the deeply unsettling rumors about her role in Diddy's odd activities, it's clear that their relationship is far from conventional. Many fans and insiders have been shocked by the extent of her involvement, particularly considering how she's positioned herself as a protective figure in Diddy's life. However, the contrast between her public persona and the dark secrets surrounding her past raises a lot of questions. Some are even questioning whether Diddy's mother had any influence over his development, not just as a businessman but also in shaping his controversial personal life. Her alleged involvement with the cartels and the disturbing rumors about her procuring young women for illicit activities have only fueled the fire. The streets have been whispering about her role in enabling Diddy's darker side, and the possibility that she may have looked the other way or worse, directly participated is unsettling, to say the least. Diddy's odd behavior towards his mother, as shown in videos and public appearances, has only added to the speculation. From his strange comments about her body to the casual mention of 4 drips, something that has been linked to the recovery process. After his notorious parties, fans can't help but wonder if there's more to their relationship than meets the eye. These bizarre interactions, coupled with the allegations from Cassie's lawsuit about white nail polish, seem to point to a relationship between mother and son that may be far more twisted than anyone could have ever imagined. At this point, many are left wondering how deep this rabbit hole goes and whether more disturbing truths will emerge about Diddy's mother and her role in his dark world. With the federal investigation ongoing, It's possible that even more shocking details about Janice Combs and her involvement in Diddy's life will come to light, leaving us all questioning how much we really know about the people behind the public personas.